Blog Talk Radio.
What the fuck is going on, y'all? Scotty Balls up on here on CarnivalSpirits Radio. Tonight we have a very special guest, one of my favorite MCs in the underground, just wherever the fuck, of all time. MASTAMIND is joining me live. How you doing, man?
What the fuck is up, motherfuckers?
Man, it's so great to have you on tonight.
What's really good with you?
Oh, man, having a pretty good night. You know, been looking forward to this, you know, since I started listening to you.
Oh, man.
Way back in fucking 2000, so.
Thank you. That's what's up.
Hey, no problem. And I got a great story to share if we get to it, but I'm going to go ahead and start this interview off with getting a little bit of history with you. Most people already know a little bit of your history. Of course, you were part of the infamous group NATAS. You know, anybody who doesn't know that needs a little slap upside the head. But you've had a very successful and still have a successful solo career.
Right.
Your latest album you have done, the Orpheus, is that what it's called,
Orpheus.
right? Orpheus, that's right. I keep mispronouncing it. With
Orpheus,
Schizo.
two-headed dog in Greek mythology. A collab album I did with my dog Schizo.
Right.
But shit, hey.
Really, really good album.
Thank you, sir.
No problem, man.
I've had a ball doing that, you know, just to finish it all up, and me and him to hear it back, it felt amazing, man. It felt really amazing. But, you know, for the people who don't know me, I'm a young cat from the east side of Detroit, born and raised. You know, I started rapping when I was like 13, 14, you know. Shit, we was all in the same high school, me, Esham, T&T. So I heard of Esham. Shit, when I was in the 9th grade, he was doing shows at the talent shows and shit. So I slid him a demo tape of some wicked shit, and he approved it and asked me, did I want to do a fucking album, you know? And shit, NATAS was born shortly after that. He came up with the name of the group, and it was on and popping, as they say.
Right, that's awesome. A lot of people don't understand that NATAS is a, what do you call it? Not an anagram. It's a nation ahead of time and space.
Absolutely.
A lot of people just, you know, they look, oh, it's Satan backwards, but no, it's nation ahead of time and space also.
you know, absolutely. It is Satan backwards, absolutely, you know, but we chose to, you know, bear that cross. We chose to define the word. So, you know, we had to break it down, you know, into nation ahead of time and space because, you know, it was like James Smith, Eshawn's older brother, used to, you know, tell him that he ahead of his time, and, you know, so that's basically where that came from, you know, and we just attacked the rap game, you know, as far as with that confidence, as far as being ahead of our time. So I think we did a damn good job in defining that shit. Because it's true to this motherfucking day.
Definitely.
Sir, timeless shit.
What prompted you to get into start rapping? What made you want to do it?
Well, shit, I don't know, as a youngster, I was, you know, I would say I was a little smart, you know what I mean? I would be in creative writing classes and shit like that, but, you know, I just needed an outlet, you know, just from coming up in Detroit, you know, and from age 7 to 12 or something, you know, my life was hell, you know what I'm saying? I was abused physically, you know what I'm saying, but a stepfather, so it was like I needed an outlet, and that's what I would do a lot. I would just write stories or whatever, but shit, by the time 84, 85 came, Run DMC was on and popping, and I was a rap fan, you know, from there on. You know, Run DMC, Beastie Boys, Fat Boys, Ice-T, that's what sparked me to rap, you know what I'm saying? And so around that time, I just started writing raps, man. My first rap was called Mastermind of Rhymes. Back when I was like 14, 15, walking around the hood, singing that shit. and people, you know, would ridicule me, you know, as far as wanting to do anything positive. So, you know, I just stuck to my guns and shit, called myself the Mastermind, you know, since motherfuckers want to talk bad on it. So I just stuck with it, and, you know, fortunately, I did stick with it because I ran into Esham, you know. It was just, it was fate, man. It's ridiculous how the shit went down, you know. For real.
That's a good story there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So your influences were Beastie Boys, Run DMC, and what other influences did you have?
Oh man, Eric B. and Rakim, LL Cool J, King T from the West Coast. Like I say, Ice-T. It was a whole West Coast movement I was on before NWA dropped in '87. You know, it was just, you know, I'm a rap historian, you know, for the most part, and I appreciate the music. I love the music, and the music, you know, made me into somebody that I never thought I'd be, you know. That's real shit. Awesome. Yes, sir.
How would you say your new tracks differ from your earlier tracks, like from Liquid Drano?
I would say light years, you know, because, you know, I was beginning, you know. I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about on Liquid Drano, you know. I had a great idea, you know. When I was that young, I thought I was, you know, would run out of shit to say. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. It was scary, you know, at that time, because we was, like I say, we was on and popping. And I had to continuously come with some good shit because I had, you know, a lot of fans by the time my second album came out, which was Blasphemy. And so, you know, I felt a little pressure, you know what I mean? But, you know, I think I handled it. I handled it right because I had good people around me. You know, Esham is a hell of a motivator when you get into the studio with him, you know? And I just stuck with that shit, and here I am, you know what I mean? It's making much, much better music. It's like, you know, light years, man. It really is. I feel like the shit is timeless. You know, I just always wondered how the fuck I would be rapping when I'm 40 years old.
Right.
And it's the best shit I've ever done in my life, you know. Seriously.
You're still doing it.
You know, it feels good. It writes itself, and it means something, you know. So I'm just building my catalog, man, and having a goddamn blast doing it.
Well, you got a hell of a catalog. Like I'm saying, I got in basically around the time the Mind's Eye came out.
Word.
Yeah, that was my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, but actually that was my first album, my first solo joint. You know what I mean? Actually, the Liquid Drano was an EP, and that was in '95. So it's like crazy. 7 years later or 6 years later, I finally do a solo record, and it's still my best-selling record to this day. You know?
Right. I remember reading in Murder Dog magazine, you're one of the most slept-on rappers.
That's crazy.
You know, when the Mind's Eye came out, one of the most slept-on rappers of the time, you know. And I think that's still true in this day.
Wow, that's crazy.
People still sleeping on you, but you know.
Hey man, it's I don't look at it like that. You know, I may talk shit in a song, but I just do me. You know, it's as simple as that. And I got fans that I choose to cater to, or sometimes I choose not to. But I'm thankful for the followers that I have. You know what I'm saying? Suicidalists, my Day Oneers, the Juggalos, Juggalettes. Man, it feels fucking beautiful. It does. You know?
Well, you put out real shit, so yeah. And it's relatable stuff, and it's good. You know, it's
from the soul, man. It's from the fucking soul.
I mean, the Mind's Eye is just one of those timeless albums for me, just because that whole era, I guess.
Yeah.
I remember seeing you twice on the Freak Show tour.
Right,
That's when I picked the album up. Was that one of the shows?
Yeah, that was, you know, I was campaigning the Mind's Eye on the Freak Show tour, and it was amazing. It was amazing. Every show that we did, I got a hell of a response. You know, I got the fucking chant after every fucking set, after 30 sets. They, you know, they chanting Mastermind, and it fucking feels good to this day, man, to just think back on that shit, you know. And I feel like I really connected with the Juggalos that year, seriously. You know, but unfortunately I wasn't able to keep touring constantly, you know, and I would say it was beyond my control, you know, but hey, it's a marathon, you know what I'm saying? I just had to keep creating music. And
yeah, you've been staying busy in the studio. I mean,
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Been putting out an album at least every couple of years, you know.
Right. You know, I'm not trying to, you know, overdo it. You know what I mean? I feel like one album a year is good. Right. You know, and you do side projects or whatever. You know, just keep them. You know, keep them with a fix. Keep the fiends with a fix. You know. Right. They love it, man, and I love to do it. Shit. So why the fuck not? You know. Right. I said the wicked should have never died. Right. What the fuck? Hey, I'm not gonna let it die. Right. You know, on some real shit, man. I'm here. Right.
In fact, that's what you wrote on my Mind's Eye album cover when you signed it.
Damn.
It'll Never Die, 2001. Yep.
Damn. That's what's up. Hey. Wow. You hit me with that one. That's what's up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right, but yeah, I got a really fresh story that I'll swing into later. We'll see if you remember it or not. It's a really cool one. But let's see, we'll get back into the questions here. What would you say your ultimate goal at the end of your career would be with music?
I just want to be remembered as somebody who pioneered some special shit, you know. I'm glad to be, you know, on the Mount Rushmore of the wicked shit, for real. Right. You know, and I'm still carving my face into it, but you know, I'm down for the challenge. You know what I'm saying? I'm down to put that work in. So I feel like, you know, it'll all take care of itself, but at the end of the day, Mastermind just want to make good music and want the people to remember me, man. You know, it's like music, this shit is bigger than me at this point, as far as the wicked shit goes. This shit is bigger than me. You know, it's bigger than Esham. You know, it's like, this is the people's music. You know, and I'm just glad to be one of the pioneers of the shit. That's what I want people to remember about Mastermind at the end of my career. You know, he pioneered this shit. He did it. He stayed true to the music and to the fans, most of all. So
definitely.
It's no fucking joke.
Let's see. You just recently did a tour with Mars, right?
Yes, sir. Last summer.
And how did that tour go for you? Did you get a pretty good response going on that tour?
Oh yeah, last summer was a blast. It was a fucking blast. Finally meeting Mars, because we always talked on the phone back and forth, trying to set up certain shit. He sent certain producers my way for my Street Value album back in '04. So, you know, I've been, you know, down with Mars for the longest, so it was a pleasure to do it. You know, it was, like I say, it was a hell of a summer. It really was, because that was my second tour of the year, and I saw faces that I saw in the spring that came back. You know, I touched a lot of people. You know, we both did, and it was hella exposure, you know, for the people, you know, for the openers that went with us. You know, shout out to Sigma and Mars and my dog Schizo. It was on and popping, man. It was the Keep It Real tour. It was a fucking blast.
That's awesome. Do you have any future plans, tours laid out yet for this year?
We got shit laid out, but we're just trying to tighten it up right now. I was hoping for the spring, but I'm not sure, you know, but maybe we can start our summer early and just kick something off in May, something like that. But I'll definitely be out there, definitely coming to a city near you. You know, I need all my people to come out, all my NATAS fans, all my Juggalos, all my day oneers and suicidalists. You know, I'm having a fucking ball touching these people, man, because I've never toured like this, and That's what I'm in this business to do, is perform that music, that timeless fucking music that everybody say is such fucking legendary shit. You know,
Right.
Hey, all I want to do is perform it for you and take it to another level. Because, you know, NATAS never had videos. NATAS never toured, you know, as NATAS, you know, as all three of us. So it's several levels that NATAS needs to be taken to that has never been done before. So for me to be out there, you know, touching these fans, you know, seeing all the fucking tattoos and the love, hey, that's what I'm here for.
Right. People would go fucking insane if NATAS toured. That would be insane.
It would be fucking ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous.
That would, oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, man, hey, anything's possible. You know, that's what I'll say tonight. You know, anything's fucking possible. You know, it's, hey, nobody's dead. I mean, really, all three of us here. I mean, everybody's got their health, as far as I know. You know, and, hey, man, meantime, between time, until NATAS actually pops off for the big reunion album tour and all that, MASTAMIND is keeping the NATAS name alive.
Right.
You know, for real. And, you know, not saying that Esham's not, because he definitely is. That's, hey, he birthed that baby too. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he's definitely doing it. And we both just need to keep doing that until the stars line up the right way. You know what I mean? For NATAS to pop off. But I just want the people to know that MASTAMIND is having the fucking time of his life, you know, putting out this good music. You know, I really am. So that's what's up.
The doors are not closed on NATAS.
No, absolutely not.
Always be open with you, so that's...
Yeah, I've heard some rumors, you know, about a new album without MASTAMIND or TFT, but, you know, that's beyond my control. You know, no love lost.
Right.
For real. It's the way you handle that type of shit, you know, but, you know, for the fans' sake, I feel that we owe it to them.
Right. I remember when End of the World dropped and you were on one track on that, and it was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
That was that's how I was like too. What the fuck? You know? But you know, it's a dirty business.
Right.
You know? It's a business where you really need to be schooled on.
Right.
You know? A business administration class would not hurt at all. But on some serious shit, it's like the end of the world, man. It shouldn't have happened without me, you know?
Right.
I was down for the fucking name of the album, the whole feel for the album. You know, I had my shit ready. I had verses ready, you know, for that shit. You know, I love the fucking album cover. You know what I'm saying? I was just down for the whole end of the world movement at that time, but shit, money wasn't right. So there it is. You know what I mean? That's just shitty for the fans. You know, have to deal with that. But hey, it's a lifetime of music, so we all live and learn. You know, and what can I say? You know?
Out of your hands.
Out of my hands.
Right. You got any, do you have any plans on an upcoming release? You're working on an album right now, or what's going on?
Oh, yeah.
Your next release?
Oh, yeah. Right now, actually, I was just in the studio, just made a song called Sucker's Bet or some shit like that, but I got another track from Dre 40 Ounce, and I'm deep into the album. The new album. It's called The Ultimate Price. And, man, some deep shit, you know? So that's all I can say right now. It's some deep shit, and I'm trying not to feel myself, you know what I'm saying? But, hey, rock and roll, baby. Fuck it. Let's get it. And I'm attacking it like that. I'm just letting good vibes, good energy come to me, and it's writing itself. So
That's when
the
they know
ultimate
you
price,
got the talent.
you know,
yeah.
coming soon. Because, you know, I feel like I've sacrificed a hell of a lot in my lifetime. You know what I mean? So that's it, the ultimate price. And, you know, I'm just enjoying the response from the authors and the masterpiece. You know, y'all pick that up anywhere.
Yep.
Actually, the masterpiece is everywhere. The authors, especially at goreshop.com and toxic.com. So get at me. And I'm just loving the response, man. For now, working on the mixtape also with Schizo.
Oh, cool.
Called the Doublehead Everything mixtape.
Nice.
Just gonna be a small EP, a little something like that. Just something for you to pop in for like 20 minutes, something like that.
Right.
You know, it's coming along good. We taking some mainstream beats and bringing them underground.
That's shit.
And putting some wicked shit on top of it.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy. It's fucking crazy.
See, that's what's lacking. I mean, some of these mainstream artists, they got some good beats, but they're lacking the wicked shit, you know?
Right. Substance. Give it substance, man.
Yeah, the real.
You're giving it to them, for real.
Right.
And it's just a blast working with, you know, Schizo, because, you know, we go verse for verse.
Right.
And it feels good. The camaraderie is you know, good. You know.
Yeah, you guys melded really well on to the Orthus, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounded really good together, and yeah, the album is great. Go pick it up. I found it on Amazon store. I got a Kindle, so I get all my shit digitally through the Amazon store. So, and it's up there. So, and I know they got it on iTunes and all that shit too. So, definitely.
Sir.
Well, we got a few questions from Juggalos about your gathering experiences. What was the first year that you played the gathering?
The Dark Carnival. 4 years in a row for your boy Mastermind.
Right.
And it's a hell of an experience, man. The first year I went, it was 2008 or 9. I don't know, 4 years ago. But
yeah, New Year confuses me.
yeah, absolutely. Right. First year I went, you know, it was NATAS, you know, main stage, 8 o'clock. Never forget it, man. A sea of juggalos, as far as the eye could see, and rocking life after death, man. It was fucking surreal, man. It was fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? For all the juggalos to know that song, because they was fucking singing along, man, I felt at home instantly. And, you know, from that point on, man, I told Vine and Jay, make sure I'm at the gathering every year from now on. You know, he's tried his best, and he's came through every year. So, you know, I just love, you know, the love that's in the air.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At the fucking gathering. You know what I mean? It's just in the air. I can't even explain it.
You know
what I'm saying?
Hard to explain. Yeah, it's like completely different than other concerts and stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I know what you're saying,
you know, it's the place to be. All I can say is whoop, whoop, motherfucker, whoop, whoop, you know? And it's a beautiful situation. So last year, I was on the underground stage, and people have been talking shit about that.
Right.
Saying, you know, why they put me on the underground stage at 3 in the morning.
Right.
Well, check this out. They put me right before the fucking riders, you numbskull. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I opened for the fucking riders, so it was a fucking honor. You know what I'm saying? And, hey, it went down that night, man. It was a beautiful night. So, hey, maybe we could do it again this year. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely looking for an invitation. So, whatever the case may be, man, I'm always down.
I know Violent J was talking about moving the underground people more up this year, like having like a Rise of the Underground theme this year.
Oh, damn.
So yeah, hopefully.
Sounds excellent.
Hopefully you'll be rocking that big stage this year, you know.
Oh, yeah.
That would be the shit. So yeah.
I think I'm ready for the big stage. What you think?
Oh yeah. You're ready.
No doubt.
That kind of brings me into my next question, just regarding Juggalos. Since we have all been classified as a gang, what are your opinions on all that by the FBI? You know?
Man, you know, like the next Juggalo, it's like you got to look past that shit. Man, it's like if you know what you representing, you know, and you know what is born from, and you know where you're trying to take it, who calling you a gang? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
right.
They call me the fucking devil. What the fuck? I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? A gang. Yeah, call me a gang. That's okay. You know what I mean? But as long as you don't move like a gang, it's whatever. It's conversation.
Yeah.
You know, it's conversation. You know, it's like the outside world, that's the way I'm going to put it. You know, the outside world just, you know, they see movements like a Juggalo movement and they don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't understand that shit, and maybe it's best kept like that. You know, and that happens for all types of movements, man. You know what I mean? The best movements have tried to get shut down. You know, so it is what it is. Like I say, man, they call me the fucking devil. What the fuck? You know?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, hey, it is what it is, man. Whoa.
That's right.
That's real shit, though, man. For real. Juggalos need to look past that shit.
Right. Not
seriously.
Some people really do get fucked with for it. You know, people lose their jobs over it, or can't even get a job over it. It's just crazy shit out there.
It's all about how you move out here, man.
Yep.
You know, if you're doing stupid shit, then
just ridiculous.
Hey, and you reap the repercussions or whatever the fuck. That's the real shit, man.
What would you say, this one's a tough one here, what would you say your favorite album of all time is?
By anybody?
By anybody. Anybody.
Eric B. and Rakim, Paid in Full. I would just spit that out, but there's no fucking way that I could, you know, pick one.
Right.
You know, because all that shit moved me. All that shit changed my life. The Power album from Ice-T. It's like, shit, hell, even one of Eshawn's records. Which one is my favorite? Kill the Fetus. That's my favorite fucking record. I feel like that record changed all of our lives. Yeah. You know, and you know, it's just so many records over the years, man. You know, I could say Tupac, All Eyes on Me. You know, it's crazy the shit that's in my head, the music that's in my head. You know, so I can't pick one. Can't pick one. Nah.
All right, I'm going to see if you remember this story from back in the day. This was during the Freak Show tour with Twisted. You guys were in Wichita, Kansas. You're getting ready to play a club called Rita's Little Uptown.
Okay.
The venue...
Was it next to another club or something?
I think so.
Okay,
but the venue would not let underage people in.
Okay.
And so they canceled the show. So rather than, you know, just screw everybody out of a show, Twisted let people come up on their tour bus and like 5 people at a time or something and get autographs, pictures, whatever. And meanwhile, you were out there and there was 2 juggalettes that me and you hopped in their back seat and smoked a joint. Do you recall that at all?
Oh, man. Wichita,
Kansas.
I would say it's pretty much a blur.
I'm sure it was.
The motherfucking blur, but I do remember something about Wichita. I think it was a piece of pussy or something like that. I don't know. I'm thinking, but no.
You remember Randy's, the papers that have the wire in them?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, my buddy, introduced those to you. You said you'd never heard of those before that.
Okay,
He showed you how they had the wire in them.
It
was that night, yeah.
It's coming clear a little bit. You related to the weed, yeah.
I know it's a big blur, that was way back in the day, but
man,
I'm just saying, for me, that's one of those times that I will always remember.
Wow.
And I want to thank you for that memory,
Wow.
Just for being that cool to just, we just sat in the back seat of these girls' car, and just passed the joint around. And that was the shit to me, you know what I'm saying?
It's nothing, man. That's, who the fuck am I? I'm fucking king mastermind or something. Nah, that ain't
mastermind,
me,
and you're not playing this big superstar role. You're fucking down to earth, and that's awesome.
That's what it's about, man.
And I want to thank you for that.
Hey, you're welcome. To all the Juggalos, you're welcome. To everybody, you're welcome. No shit, man. For real, man. I'm just glad to be a part of everybody's lives, man, as far as this music goes,
Right.
That's what's up.
Well, we're about out of showtime here, man. Is there anything you want to plug real quick before we end?
Oh, shit, man. No, just get at me on Twitter, man, at Mr. Mastermind. Facebook, Mastermind the Hellraiser. Get that Orthus album, Me and Schizo, at Toxic.com. And get at me on iTunes, man. My music is all at iTunes and Amazon, etc., etc. And I just want to give a big whoop to you, my dude. Get a big whoop to all the Juggalos. You know what I'm saying? And a big ass, the wicked shit'll never die to everybody, for real.
All right, man. Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate it a lot. We'll hit you back up maybe when your album pops off.
Yes, sir.
Drops, then we'll fucking do this again. Appreciate you taking your time out.
Never die.
Later, man.